Though the Los Angeles Lakers are mostly focused on free agency and the trade market right now, head coach J.J. Redick is still tinkering with his coaching staff. This time, he's bringing in another former Duke Blue Devil. Duke announced on social media that the Lakers have hired Justin Robinson to serve as a player development coach. He previously held the position of Director of Player Development at Duke since 2023. The Blue Devils had 3 players drafted in the lottery of the 2025 NBA Draft, and Robinson deserves at least some credit for helping that happen. However, he's not only notable for his last couple of years at Duke. Robinson is the son of San Antonio Spurs Hall of Famer David Robinson. It's easy to forget, but the Lakers and Spurs were great rivals for a long time before both franchises started to go through some rough patches. Despite that, Los Angeles wanted to bring in his son. Justin Robinson was also a player at Duke and played professionally overseas for several seasons. He's only 28, so there's room to grow, but he's proven to have a knack for player development early in his career, and Redick should have some good intel on Robinson due to his Duke ties. Lakers will need strong player development. The Lakers have proven to be a franchise that needs stars to thrive. The problem with that is that the current salary cap structure makes it very difficult for teams to pay stars while filling out the rest of the roster. That's why Robinson's job as a player development coach is very important. The Lakers need to find young players in the draft and free agency who can make an impact. The team has found hidden gems like Alex Caruso and Austin Reeves in the past, but they'll need more of those types of players going forward, especially since Luka Doncic is on his way to getting a massive contract extension in the near future. Rob Pelinka talks Jake LaRavia signing. The first move the Lakers made in free agency was signing forward Jake LaRavia. He's not a big name who gets the fan base riled up, but he's a former first-round pick and hit 42.3% of his three-point shots last season. He's shown some real promise, and there's still room for him to grow. With the Lakers losing Dorian Finney-Smith in free agency, they'll need LaRavia to play a big role this season. President of Basketball Operations and General Manager Rob Pelinka thinks he's the perfect fit on the roster. Jake is a high IQ two-way player with ideal skills for a J.J. Redick basketball system, Pelinka said via NBA.com. He's a disruptive defender who uses his size and physicality to create turnovers. Offensively, he can score at all 3 levels and has a knack for creating space for himself and his teammates. Being just 23 years old, we think Jake has significant basketball upside, which will be honed nicely in our Lakers basketball development program. There are a lot of eyeballs on the Lakers, so if LaRavia plays well in Los Angeles, his next payday will be significant. Though he played very few meaningful minutes in the NBA last season, Los Angeles Lakers shooting guard Bronny James was one of the most talked about players in the league. Whether he was playing with his dad LeBron James in the pros or suiting up for the South Bay Lakers of the G League, Bronny seemingly always drew a crowd. The 20-year-old USC alum averaged 2.3 points, 0.8 assists, and 0.7 rebounds per game, while playing a minuscule 6.7 minutes per night across 27 NBA games and 21.9 points, 5.4 assists, 5.2 rebounds, and 1.9 steals per night in 11 G League contests. Conversely, Dallas Mavericks rookie Cooper Flagg, the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 draft, was the most must-watch player in college basketball last season. The 18-year-old forward led Duke to a 35-4 record and Final Four appearance while earning consensus first-team All-America status and being named the National College Player of the Year and ACC Player of the Year. So it should come as no surprise that the anticipation for his head-to-head matchup between Flagg and James on Thursday is already generating quite a bit of buzz. In fact, there's so much hype surrounding the game that ticket prices for the contest are already breaking records. According to ticket resale syndicate TickPick, the average ticket price for Thursday's Mavericks-Lakers matchup is $201, the highest-selling ticket price ever for an NBA Summer League game. TickPick also reports that general admission tickets for Flagg's NBA debut are $83 and courtside seats are going for as high as $2,500. The Lakers were also involved in the Summer League game with the second-highest ticket prices, a 2017 matchup against the Boston Celtics, which was also the league's first Summer League sellout and featured former number 2 overall pick Lonzo Ball. ESPN reports that game had $30 general admission tickets, and others were going for $250 on the resale market. Though that number hasn't been confirmed by any other resale sites, TickPick doesn't track sales data that far back. The third highest Summer League game on record came back in 2023, when Victor Wembanyama made his San Antonio Spurs debut. That game had an average ticket price of $161 and was also a sellout. The Los Angeles Lakers are likely done with making major moves around Luka Doncic and LeBron James during the NBA offseason. This is not stopping plenty of speculation about wild moves the Lakers could make to bolster the team's championship aspirations. Through his agent Rich Paul, James has made it clear that he wants to compete for a championship this upcoming season. The question is whether the current Lakers roster give James and Doncic a realistic chance to chase the NBA's elite in 2025-26. Lakers insider Jovan Boha was recently asked about a wild fan trade proposal that has the Lakers landing New Orleans Pelicans star Zion Williamson. The timeline would be a move more in the future with Williamson as a potential replacement once James moves on. The proposal has the Lakers sending Rui Hachimura, Maxi Kleber, Gabe Vincent, and a 2031 first-round pick to the Pelicans in exchange for Williamson. It remains to be seen why the Pelicans would be motivated to do this deal, unless the front office wants to move on from Williamson's 5-year, $197 million contract. Let's dive into whether the Lakers could make a surprise run at Williamson. Wild Lakers trade pitch pairs Luka Doncic with Zion Williamson. On a surface level, it feels like New Orleans would be pushing for Austin Reeves in any deal involving Williamson. Logistically, the outline trade would need adjusted or a third team could be added for the proposed deal to work within the salary cap constraints. Boha weighed in on Williamson's questionable fit alongside Doncic, highlighting defensive concerns. "I don't think you're crazy," Boha explained during a July 7th YouTube episode. "I will say Zion, Luka, and AR Reeves, and Ayton and whoever. I see some major concerns defensively. And I think if you traded for Zion, that probably means you need to move on from Austin, honestly. Because Zion and Luka, for as skilled and gifted and talented and dynamic, and just the production between those two, like there are some real defensive concerns," Boha added. Offensively, it would be incredible. A Luka Zion pick and roll probably would be the best pick and roll in the NBA. I don't know. It could be worth a swing, I guess, especially if you're thinking more like future term, but the concerns with Williamson are the health, some of the decision-making off the court that he's had, and the defensive limitations. The Pelicans have doubled down on not trading Zion Williamson. Williamson's $197 million deal is slated to go through the 2027-28 NBA season. It is not as if the Pelicans would be able to make a major addition just by moving off of Williamson's deal. New Orleans would likely be pushing for a package of picks and/or young players to cut ties with the star. This perspective would change if some of Williamson's current legal woes prove to be problematic, but this would likely make the big man unappealing to the Lakers as well. Throughout the NBA offseason, Pelicans Vice President Joe Dumars has doubled down on the team's commitment to Williamson. "We've had lunch, dinner, watched playoff games together," Dumars told the Times-Picayune, per Hoops Hype. "We've done it all. I've had some real honest conversations with him. Some real direct and honest conversations. We're going to go forward with Zion. He's going to continue to be a focal point here as we go forward." If this is indeed the beginning of the end for James in Hollywood, Williamson would add some excitement alongside Doncic. The challenge is Williamson's potential seems to be far greater than his production through his first 6 NBA seasons.